Hi, and welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I am your host, Eric Knowles, and I'm excited. You know, helping promote black business is a very exciting thing that we do each and every day at the Chamber. And today we have a special guest, Dr. Amber Williams. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. So thankful for you being here. We get to talk about what you're doing, but I'm reading your bio. You know, you matriculated through the Bethune-Cookman
That's
University.
Right. Hell, Wildcats.
I know it's a lot of Wildcats down here in South Florida and basically throughout the U.S. A degree in biology?
Yes.
Wow, you're smart.
Yes.
You know, that's one thing well, science, I was okay. Math, but that's nice to see a sister having a degree in biology, but then you took that degree and you got another degree. You kind of went in another direction, and you were athletic director, if I was reading right. Or?
Athletic director, athletic trainer at Bethune-Cookman for the football team.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So they work with Palmer College for athletic and sports rehab.
Okay.
So that's how I got familiar with Palmer, which is where I got my doctorate degree from.
Okay. Doctor. Yeah, that sounds nice. And with all of that, you know, you were a trainer, and you took all that knowledge and you decided to become a chiropractor.
Yes, my original plan was to go to doctorate schools, not doctorate schools, to become a medical doctor.
Okay.
But the fear of the MCAT and all of those tests just drove me in another direction. But alternatively, I found a love for chiropractic. Never knew anything about it. I remember running home to my family like, you know what chiropractic is? It's been around since the 1800s. So
right.
I thought I discovered something new, but it's been around all this time. Yeah, I don't know.
But but that's cool because, I mean, I'm sure, as you said, a lot of us in our community don't know. And I know there's a lot of trepidation. There's a lot of, I know from back in the day, and I still probably harbor some of that fear of what chiropractic practice is. And the name of your company?
Upright Spine Center.
Upright. So
upright.
Yeah, let me get
right.
upright.
Go ahead, let's get upright.
Yeah. So sitting properly, walking properly, adjusting.
Yes.
I know we all probably think our body is straight, but most of us have some little lean, whether it's in our hips or back. Or let's talk about, again, let's go back into what made you decide that that's what you wanted to do.
Me seeing bones, actual doctors adjust bones, and seeing patients some have immediate relief, some have a treatment plan, and then they get out of the pain without all of the medications and all of the examinations and the surgeries. Because people go into surgery not knowing the seriousness behind it. However, I've never met a person who's had back surgery and who said they're completely okay with it. They're immediately recovered. So I feel like my love was to get to the root cause of the injury. So stop all the ibuprofen and popping all the pills to stop or numb the pain, and then be upset that you have to basically buy this stuff all the time and be on these medications.
Right. You know, I teach yoga, and the one thing that I have found since I started teaching, you know, a lot of us, when we talk about back pain, and back pain, it's not the pain, or the cause of the pain doesn't necessarily originate from the back. And stretching, obviously, your hamstrings and your glutes, and so on and so forth, relieves that pain, because from my basic layman understanding is that it's tight and then it's pulling down on your back. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So basically, the muscles are all attached to different bones and joints in the body. So a certain restriction or a quick movement can really pull or tarnish something. And basically sitting every day, you're basically just sitting on that muscle all the time. There's no release, there's nothing. So with yoga, same with any health activity or working out, breathing basically allows you to actually allow the muscle to relax and contract. So with yoga, which I highly recommend, a lot of people get into injuries and they just don't want to move. I don't want to turn my neck because I'm scared that it may contribute to that pain again. But you have to move through the pain. That's basically why yoga is so important, because not only are you moving, but once you breathe, you are actually able to elongate the muscles even more to decrease and eliminate the pain.
Yeah, you know, I need to talk to you more after this because, I mean, again, that's why you're here to talk more about your practice. But again, going back to yoga, breathing is a big part of the yoga practice. A lot of people think that it's just what they call the asanas or the movement,
Yes.
but that's just a very small part of the yoga practice.
Because immediate pain causes people to hold their breath. So it's like, and they don't realize they're holding their breath until
Right.
you tell them to breathe. So it's like, oh, my bad.
Right, right. And the other thing, and when you talk about that, you talk about pain. I grew up in Miami, and I also grew up outside of Buffalo, a little town called Lockport. And in the winter, when it's cold, you tense up. That's another way of tensing up and stopping breathing.
And how cold was it there?
Oh, cold, like minus whatever sometimes.
Oh, no.
It was a snow belt, so a lot more snow than cold, but yeah, 20 degrees, 10 degrees, or probably more 20, 30-ish, but a lot of snow. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot
Well,
of
welcome
snow.
to Miami.
Yeah, exactly. But coming back to what you were saying about people tensing up, I have a friend, an older friend, and she's had some health issues. And the one thing I keep telling her, you just can't lay there. You got to get up and move. And that's what happens to a lot of people. You know, like you said, they have a surgery or they have an injury and they stop moving. And you got to push your way through those.
Moments.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't understand is you're already down and depressed about being injured or being in pain, but then you open up another can of worms because there's stress and then there's pain. The body can't focus on two things at one time. So it's either going to focus on your stress, ignore your pain, and to the point to where disease and everything else occurs. Now you're in pain and you're stressed because you contributed to the stress. You allowed the stress to contribute to the pain, which allowed the disease to increase.
Wow.
So basically you've eliminated the pain because you focus on another thing. So the body can only focus on one thing.
Well, I'm definitely going to have you have a conversation with her because like I said, every day I'm fussing at her. You need to get up and walk. You need to get up. You need to stretch. You know, I gave her a yoga belt so she can, you know, stretch a little bit. But, you know, I'm hurting. I'm sore. Well, you're going to remain sore
Right.
if you don't push your way through it.
But what I noticed also in the Black community is a lot of course, single parents or men, for example, they're hard workers. So they ignore their pain for a long time because they have to make the money. They have to go out and support their families to where when they finally come to me, it's almost like it's too late. Not necessarily too late, I take that back, but it gets to a point to where now you need longer care.
Right.
But now that entails to your daily activity schedule. So now you have to make the time to come into the doctor, and then that's when you delay your injuries.
Well, we'll be right back. We want to take a little break and hear from one of our supporters.
This is garbage, and you probably think all of it just goes to waste. But in Miami-Dade, we convert most of what you throw away into energy. In our waste-to-energy facility, we can turn about 90% of your everyday garbage into reusable fuel
Levels look good.
that creates clean electricity for our community. Enough energy to power 35,000 homes. Pretty illuminating, huh? In Miami-Dade, nothing goes to waste.
So we're back, and I'm here with Dr. Amber Williams, and we're talking about chiropractic practice. She's I can't even say it. She's a chiropractor, and I've had a fear. I've actually, I don't know, I may have gone to a chiropractor once, but you know, you've heard back in the day, you've heard these stories about chiropractors and et cetera, but here we are in 2023, so I'm gonna adjust my mind and,
All right now.
and tell us about that whole journey. You know, I'm sure you've heard those stories about people being afraid of coming to a chiropractor. Alleviate some of that.
Okay, so social media I hate it now
Especially,
because
because you said,
social media makes us look like we're killers.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and that part. I'm not even talking about back in the day. Now that you bring that up, here we are on Instagram, and
yes, you see the videos where they're like chiropractors be like, and you see the chips and they're just slamming.
Yeah.
So no, as they say, you do not reinvent any wheel. So when it comes to chiropractic care, I always explain to my patients, I always ask also, have you watched any videos? That's not when it's gonna happen in here. So I use standard chiropractic adjustments that I learned in college. You can learn more maneuvers with continuing education, but back to the breathing. You lie face down on the table. You ask the patient to take a deep breath in. They blow it all the way out. Now, basically, you feel your muscles when you're doing yoga. For me, I feel them relaxing. If you don't relax with chiropractic care, it is going to feel like it's going to hurt because now I have to fight through muscles through the adjustment. When actually you just take a deep breath in, blow it all the way out, it moves everything out of my way for a smooth transition. And the most reactions that I get is, it's like a sigh of relief. It's like, I felt that and now I don't feel it anymore. So that's my go-to reaction.
Did you bring your table?
I did. It's in the car. It's always in the car. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Well, you know, not this time, but
I'll come back.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go deeper into it. The history, like you said, it's been around since what, the 1800s.
Yes. So basically with the history, B.J. Palmer, D.J. Palmer, they basically founded chiropractic care. So when it comes to chiropractic care, it is the focus of the spine. The spine and the joints that align with it. So for instance, your shoulders off, this is off. Their main focus was to target those specific vertebrae to make the adjustment to where the spine is aligned. A lot of people don't understand that your nerves are connected to all of your organs in your body. So with specific things, like if we're slouching our shoulders, you can create a subluxation in your mid-back, which could create issues with your stomach, with your gut. And just like you said, people may allude to it being back pain, but you could have some kidney issues, you could have some irritable bowel issues. All of those issues have referred pain issues. So it can go from one place to another to let you know, or a doctor know, hey, this is what the real issue is. So that's why I always tell my patients, mainly our Black communities, don't ignore what's going on because it creates a long-standing issue. And now we're gonna have to get you off that medication because you've went to the medical doctor to get the prescription, but now you're trying to figure out how you can get out of it. And most of my patients, 50 and 60, it's more about maintenance and keeping them upright, keeping them mobile, giving them tips about how to move through freely through range of motion. That's the goal all in all, just to really educate and teach them. Because like you said, I didn't know anything about chiropractic care. If somebody would have taught me about it, I would have been more enthused about it. But now, the way I go about it in my community, education is key. You can't just go to somebody and tell them they need a chiropractic. Granted, I feel like everyone does need one. But you have to educate and give somebody the knowledge to know why they need to come to you. So that's why I like to do it.
Okay. You know, I hear a lot about sciatica.
Yes. Number one issue.
Number one issue?
Number one
Wow,
issue.
I didn't realize that.
Because what we're learning now with continuing education is sitting is the new smoking. You sit on.
Sitting is the new smoking.
'Cause
That's
when
the
you-
first time I heard that one.
Because when you think about it, majority of working people sit all day long.
Right.
So all you're doing is engaging that muscle. That's just like being in the gym and doing a curl for 8 hours. But most people sit for so long they don't get up to go get a drink of water, to go to the printer. They just sit for a long time. A lot of people do cross their legs a lot. No, you have your legs crossed, but it's not for this long. But a lot of people will cross their legs, causing issues to knees. It just depends. And a lot of men sit on their wallet. So when you're sitting on your wallet, it allows that piriformis muscle to squeeze onto that sciatic nerve, which is going to send that message down.
You guys hear that? You guys with that big fat wallet, I got rid of that thing 30 years ago. My wallet's about this thin, and yeah, that thing in the, no, that,
Don't
yeah,
sit
I
on
knew that
anything.
without even, that didn't even
Yeah,
feel good.
don't sit on anything. People who drive, I noticed that I was going to think about doing a reel on the way here. People lean on that console, so now you're putting more
We
pressure.
gotta have the pimp
slowly.
lean.
Look, that pimp lean gonna have your leg numb. Women also, when they carry babies, it's just specific things. So it's all about learning how to change certain lifestyle regimens. But like you said, having your legs crossed is okay, but most people have them crossed all day. If they're sitting, they can sit there for hours. Most people actually will bend their leg and sit on it, which
Right,
causes another reaction. So sciatic nerve is a big issue. Also muscle spasms. A lot of people wake up because they have like a crick in their neck, so they're trying to get it out really quick. Muscle spasms take time because you've allowed yourself to sleep however many hours in that position. So you basically torque that muscle. So now when you get to me, I have to work that muscle out a little longer. But as you go throughout the day, you're not breathing. You're not trying to move your neck because you don't want to feel any pain. So it's like you're contributing to the pain more than alleviating.
Wow. So going back to the sciatica, I know now actually even in my office, I know Beverly and Matthew have the desks that rise up, and Beverly stands most of the day. And so I've been blessed, I guess, in the work that I've had all over the years is actually being out of an office, walking around in the community. So I never really was one to have to be at a particular desk all day. And so I've been actually feeling a little, and does it run down your leg?
It does. It runs down the back of your leg all the way to your foot. So that's why some people are like, why am I experiencing that? But a quick tip, free tip. If you are experiencing pain on your left leg, right leg, whatever it is, if you're able to cross that leg and lean forward and breathe,
pigeon pose,
you would be able to actually stretch that muscle so you can relieve that tension. But also try to get up, go get a drink of water, maybe just stand up, quick stretch, throw your arms all the way up. Swing your arms around, go from side to side. Any little thing helps, aside from you being locked in a position feeling like you just have to type all day.
Right. And I tell you, a lot of times when I'm standing in line, wherever, if you're going somewhere and you have to stand in line, I'll stand there and I'll stretch and I'll, bend over and touch my toes. And
a lot of people are like, what is he doing? Don't worry about it. He's not in pain, so that's all that matters.
Exactly, exactly. Well, this has been a great conversation. Any departing last words?
Any departing last words? Anybody has any fears about chiropractic care, talk to me, message me, social media. My social media is Dr. Amber DC. You can DM me any questions. I'm open to answering any of them. I want to eliminate any fears, get rid of those, get into the community and start educating people more about what chiropractic care really is.
Yeah, well, obviously you've been there on Tuesdays at our 4 o'clock meetup. We're going to have you come on and just do your thing.
All right, I'll be open to that.
No, we need to have you do that because this is really great. We tend to, when we get older, we stop moving. And women, I think they stop moving even before they get older. I'm just saying.
Don't do us.
I'm just saying. And guys too, so we need to do better. I mean, whatever community, whether black, white, Hispanic, it's all the same in terms of taking care of ourselves. So, I just want to thank you all for joining us. Dr. Williams, thank you. This has been a great conversation. We are the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. You can reach us by calling 305-751-8648, m-dcc.org. This has been the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection.